So, who became my husband, his mom had died. And we were in the same house being roommates, kind of like he was my babysitter and I was paying the bills. I put it that way. Well, I ended up going and working at a club. And I've never dated anybody in a club before until this one. And I found myself attracted to somebody else. And I went home and I told him. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do about that? I'm like, you told me if I ever got attracted to somebody else to let you know. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I can't help you attracted to him. Do you want him? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, what are we going to do? I was like, just do what we do right now. Nothing. So I started messing around with him. And I'm loyal. So he was the only person I was with. And so we were messing around for a little while. And let's see, a few months went by. And I realized I was stuck. Like, I was feeling feelings hard. I was taking care of both of them at that point. Then I was paying for one's what they needed and their dad needed, and then I was paying for the one at home's what he needed and my kids needed. Like, I was taking care of a lot of people, straight up. Well, I go home to tell this motherfucker I'm moving out. He ain't going with me. After I asked the other one how he felt about me. And he was like, I have love for you. I said, okay. That's all I need to know. I was like, I'm not judging you. I just want to know what the hell you fit, where you stand. And he said, I have love for you. Okay, well, that's cool. That's not what I want, but it's cool. I went home and told the guy who I was, trying to leave. He ended up talking me into marrying him. Well, we went to the courthouse and him get married. And he talked me into it because of my kids. Like, he's like, your kids ain't gonna handle it if you leave me, and all kinds of shit. The motherfucker was a narcissist, abusive bastard. Anyways, so I went back to work. And I'm still taking care of, some grown-ass men. Even being married to one. And, yeah. The one that I was in love with, I couldn't touch. Oh, I touched it a few more times. And then I was like, no, if I'm married, I really gotta sit down and try to make this work. And, like, every friend who knew me was like, what the fuck? I thought you were leaving. I said, I was. And they hated him at that point. Like, they knew he manipulated me. And they all hated his guts. And they all knew I was in love with the other one. Well, at some point, I ended up quitting club and trying to make my marriage work. At that point, I tried with everything in me to make it work. He started getting me on prescription medication for bipolar, schizophrenia, all kinds of shit. So he started that mess, and he started comatosing me. And I was the one working a normal job, coming home, and paying the bills. Whatever was left after he bought pills. Anyways, he got me drugged up pretty well at one point before he really fucking comatose me. And I gained weight and stuff. And I looked healthy, but I wasn't healthy. I seemed, quote unquote, happy because I know how to, fake it till you make it at that point in my life. I had to fake it. I was so miserable. I end up sitting there trying. Can't make it work. There's no making something work when you're miserable. Settling and you cannot fall in love with the man you're with. They say women can fall in love with a man. Some women can. I am not one of them for some reason. I fall in love with my choice. And it ain't theirs. And I tried to fall in love with my husband. I tried. Oh no. I could not fall in love with him. But anyways, or we learn to love men, quote unquote, or what the fuck you want to say. Anyways, I ended up going back to work. the neglect in our relationship was there the whole time. So I started telling him, like, I'm done. I don't want to be with you anymore. He's like, well, I still want to live here. I don't want to get kicked out. He said, I'll help you with kids. You just do what you do. And he knew what I was doing. And so I started messing with the dude I was in love with again. And I was happy all the time. And he was talking about, you don't need the medicine and stuff. And, you know, he's like, you really don't need that shit. And I was like, well, you don't live with me, so you don't know, so I guess I do. And my kids realized I was happy. But I was dancing too, so, I mean, there's that. Getting all that aggression out. But, after a little while, he ended up going to the hospital and find out he's fighting cancer. And for a little while, he let me around. He didn't touch me. He talked to me. We'd hang out a little while. And I'd already got fired from the job. That's a whole different story. But I was going to his house, seeing him, and he let me hang out a little bit. And then one day he decided that he didn't want to hang out with me no more. And he pushed me away. I went there, I know, 20 times to see him without him barely talking to me and me trying. And finally one day I cried myself all the way home and I gave up. And I walked, heart shattered. And that's when the husband got me on really good freaking medicine. Like, I was drugged all the time. I don't even remember parts of it. And he kept trying. I do remember a lot, but I don't remember parts of it. Because supposedly, I sat with a knife one night or something. I don't think so. I think he just lied a lot. But he was very manipulative and a narcissist, so he probably did. But we ended up homeless again. And then we found a home. And he ended up going to jail for like the 10th time. Oh, we were together. But this time he did it in front of my kids. That was it. Like, that was my breaking point. Finally, I had a good enough reason to kick his ass out. And so I did. And he didn't leave very well. He stayed in the woods next to my house. He was like, the boys were letting him in the house. He was staying at Mom's, which was across the street. Like, I couldn't get rid of him for nothing. Like, it was bad. Like, I wanted him gone while I got with somebody else. And, I mean, his book money, until last time he went to jail, he was given hundreds a day. A day. Because he needed this, he needed that, he needed this, he needed that. I was dancing, and I had customers, and I had regulars, and I had sugar daddies. He got whatever hell he wanted. While he was in jail, so, I mean, it is what it is. But that last time, he didn't get nothing. I even told him, like, we're done. And he wouldn't leave me alone when he got up. He was trying hard, because I was a sugar mama. I mean, shit, I took care of his ass. But I got with somebody else, and my kids would sneak him in at night when I was asleep. So somehow he ended up moving back into the house after I kicked him out, kind of. Like, he was still sleeping in the house. In the morning he was gone. That's still kind of like moving back in. Well, I lost the house. And I had to move. And I lost everything. That was one loss. I took all of it. Before, I only took parts of it. My mom would help me get a storage building, or I'd pay for a storage building, and I'd move it all. This time I lost it all. Everything. Even moved stuff somewhere else and still lost it because they won't let me have it back. And then I moved stuff to where I moved to, and she wouldn't let me take none of it. None of it. When she kicked me out on a spur of the moment. So I went somewhere else and stayed. She gave me stuff, and then she took it back. All of the clothes that I ever had in the last 6 months up there was given and taken, except for mine. Mine was just taken. Like, it was Either you get free clothes or you don't have any clothes. And when I got given them, she'd go back and take whatever hell she wanted back because it looked good on me. So yeah, I have a clothes phobia now because of it. But anyways, that's what I get for living with people who do drugs while I'm clean. I was clean before I moved into the apartment or the house after losing my house. I was clean. No. Yes, I was. I wasn't clean when I went and stayed with my friend while the husband wouldn't let me have him move out before he went to jail. Yeah. No, it was after I got out of jail. He said that that was his house. They said he could stay there. So he stayed, kicked me out, left my kids there, and then we ended up getting kicked out finally, and we lost that house. Because he wouldn't pay any of the rent. Stayed there, had a job, but wouldn't pay a damn dollar toward the bills. And that was enough. I've lost it all. Seriously.